Synonyms for Happiness, and today I'm going to tell you about my 3 biggest cleaning products that I use. The first one, this one is probably the one that I do use the most. I use it for, not necessarily for the most items in my house, but I definitely use it the most often. Having a toddler and a baby who's getting ready to be a toddler in the house means that our kitchen floor takes a beating, especially around mealtime. So what I always go to is vinegar. And the reason why I use vinegar instead of like pine sol or anything else like that is that I do have a child that still crawls, and my toddler sometimes, touches his feet, puts things in his mouth, that sort of thing. So I just want something on my floors that is absolutely fine if ingested, and you can eat vinegar. So I just want something on my floor that is okay for them to eat, because I just didn't feel comfortable, especially when I was having my first baby, cleaning my floors with something that was filled with chemicals, and then when he'd be learning to crawl, putting his hands in those, putting his hands in his mouth, I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So we decided to start using vinegar. And vinegar is a little bit of a disinfectant. It's not the best disinfectant, but I wasn't necessarily looking into using vinegar for its disinfectant properties. I was mainly looking into it for its cleaning power, which does include disinfectant properties, but mainly because not only does it have those properties, but I can use it to clean my floors and not have to worry about my son, getting those chemicals on his hands and putting it in his mouth. I just felt way more comfortable with the vinegar. And I'll use this for my floors, I'll use this to clean my shower, I'll use this to clean the toilet, the mirrors, the windows. So this would be the one I use most often in the house. The second most common cleaning product I use in my house is Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Soap. And this is the 18-in-1 Hemp Baby Unscented Pure Castile Soap. And this is the one that I prefer to use. And the reason why I prefer to use the unscented one is because I bought this when I was getting ready to have a newborn. And as you know, newborns, sometimes they can have sensitive skin, and you don't want to have a lot of added in scent things, especially when you're not sure if your baby's gonna have sensitive skin. I just didn't want to buy a bunch of products with a bunch of different scents in there and then find out that I can't use them because my newborn's skin is too sensitive or something like that. So we go ahead and we use the unscented version. And what I'll use this for, it says it has 18 different uses. I'm not sure exactly on all the uses, but I'll just tell you guys what I use this for. We use it for, for washing our bodies, washing our hair. We'll use it for shaving cream, dishes, hand soap, laundry soap. That's about all we use it for, I think. But as far as if you need like an actual soap, this is what we use. Dishes, hand soap, shampoo, body wash, laundry soap. But when you do use this for laundry soap, I do use the vinegar as well. So we'll use this as the detergent, and then we'll put vinegar in the rinse cycle. The third product I use, this one I don't really use hardly at all, mainly just if I need something really powerful and my regular cleaning options aren't working. And I'm not an expert in this, so make sure you do your own research before you decide. I use this very sparingly, so I'm by no means an expert. Is essential oils, and more specifically lemon essential oil. We do use a couple of other essential oils in our household too, but as far as cleaning, I mainly use lemon. You could probably use like orange or grapefruit too. I mainly use the lemon because it's really good at dissolving, like if you got any tough stains or grease or anything, if you just put it on there, put a few drops on there, rub it in, and just leave it sit for a little while, it'll cut right through that really, really quick. Now, like I said though, I only use that in extreme circumstances. I do not like to use essential oils that often. The reason being is I do have young children, and yes, essential oils are all natural and plant-based, and they're from plants and everything, but also you guys gotta keep in mind that the concentration is really high on essential oils, and they can be very toxic if you're not careful with them. So I do try to minimize use of essential oils. As far as essential oils, I know there are some that are like antibacterial, antiviral, that sort of thing. Like I said, I am not an expert. but they can and they do have their uses around the house. But as I do in my household, I do use them very sparingly. I just don't want anybody to get sick because, like I said, as they all are natural, they are very concentrated. So I just don't want anybody getting sick from essential oils, which I know people can be poisoned from them. So just use them sparingly, and if you're going to use them in your cleaning, make sure you have done your research on which one you're using. Make sure if you needed to dilute it, you dilute it, and just be safe when you're using those. But yeah, our cleaning products are very minimal, and the reason why I like to keep it like that is because, like I said, I do have young children, and I just don't want them accidentally ingesting a bunch of chemicals. And not to mention, the skin is the largest organ on your body, and it is very permeable, which means that your skin absorbs a lot of what you come into contact with. And I just don't want our household to be filled with all these chemicals and being absorbed into our body and going into our bloodstreams. And even though it is sold fine and there are no restrictions on like Lysol or anything like that, and even though there are no restrictions on like selling Lysol or anything like that, I just don't feel comfortable bringing that into my house. Now, did I always use all natural and try to use very minimalistic cleaning products? No. Before I had children, I was just like pretty much most of the people. I just used Pine Sol on my floors. I used, Pledge to dust my house. I used Windex on my windows. But especially having young children, I just really wanted to cut down on all that because their hands are just always in their mouth, especially when they're young. They're textures, they want to chew on things when they're teething. So I just didn't feel comfortable having all those chemicals around them while they were doing that. Now, as far as when I first started converting to all of this, it was all very new to me, and I just felt safer going with a very minimalistic approach because, one, I know you could eat vinegar. It's in some foods. Use it for pickling and that sort of thing. So I knew that it was fine to eat that. So I felt very comfortable just go ahead and using that, especially like on surface cleaning. So that would take care of most of it. Castile soap is, you just do your research on ingredients, look at the ingredients. Everything here is organic, and it tells you about the oils and everything's used. So you just want to check ingredients with like things like this. And I did my research and I felt comfortable using these two things. And I kind of had the philosophy as far as when you're trying to go from using a bunch of chemicals to not using anything toxic, I just felt safer going more minimalistic because I just didn't get overwhelmed with all the information. Because I know there's some recipes out there, like if you want to make like some lemon scented window cleaner, you can mix a few things together and you can have that, and it's a nice concept to me. I wish I had time and wanted to do that, but when I was first starting out, I didn't want to be mixing a bunch of different things together because I just didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like I had enough knowledge on how things interacted together. I didn't feel like I had enough knowledge of essential oils. So I really just kind of gleaned that information of using lemon essential oil from other people that I had seen. I didn't do a ton of research on it. I did a little bit, but mainly I just, other people said it was okay to use. I researched a little bit, and I do use it sparingly. But these two, I feel very safe using. So I feel like a lot of the times when people are curious about going and eliminating chemicals from their life, it gets very overwhelming, especially when you have a bunch of different like mixtures of things. Like this is a mixture to clean the windows, this is a mixture to wash your counters, this is a mixture for dish soap, this is a mixture for laundry soap. I just find it so much easier for me, especially as a mom, when I'm already so busy changing. I have 2 in diapers, and I'm always changing diapers. I'm always got diaper laundry to do. I always gotta clean the floors, make every meal, and it's just so much easier for me just to have 2 products that do practically everything. Plus, when you're cleaning, I would hate, like when I was using a bunch of chemicals, I would hate when I'd have to be like, okay, grab this product, go clean. Oh, I'm gonna do the next thing. Gotta go grab the other product and clean. Oh, gotta go get the next product and clean. Like these products, I can get out the vinegar, and like I said, I can mop the floors, I can wipe the counters, I can clean the windows. And then as far as this, it's like this is like a one-stop shop. And if you're going on vacation or something, this cuts down on how much you have to pack by so much. Like you can literally just like pack a bottle of this and a little bit of coconut oil, and I'd be fine. I'd be completely fine. So, you know, as far as like going on vacation, you don't have to pack shaving cream, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, you know, all these other products. They're filled with chemicals. You can just buy like a little travel size squirt bottle and put this in there. And that's like a ton of products you'll need on your vacation in one small bottle. It doesn't take up much space. And plus, if you're trying to travel light, it's really, really handy to do so. So if you guys like this video, or if you guys have some tips on how you guys clean your house chemical free, let me know about it in the comments. Like I said, I am just starting out on this. I mean, I have been working towards this for a couple of years now, and I try to stay pretty minimal. But if you guys have any cool tips or any knowledge you'd like to share with me, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.